Alright guys, I know this is a little late. I've been marinating on this, kind of thinking it, gathering my thoughts, letting you guys come to me and let me know what you think about it. And I'm ready to talk about the Scourge events. I was super hyped for the Scourge events, and that remains to be the case. I love these things. They look so much fun. I can't wait to dive into them. It's going to be a huge time sink that's going to be a lot of fun, just like Tower was for me. So I know that's a concern for a lot of people with the time it's going to take to put in. But I kind of live for that stuff. I really enjoy it, and I like pushing the limits. And now this is a no penalty method, but I'm getting through all the good stuff before we even get into it. Let's start looking into it. Starting with the blog. So here we go. The new event mode, Scourge. Players will embark on a challenge of 10 sequential connected nodes called a run. So that's like every attempt, right? And your highest score is going to be what gets submitted at the end of the event. For your place in the leaderboards, we'll talk leaderboards after. That's kind of the only iffy part. But it just looks really fun. So let's jump into it. This is difficulty 5 of 10. These characters are 500k. What's this? 7 gear tier 17, 7 red stars. This is difficulty 5. It looks like this is with 50 Scourges attached to it. In the video, which we're going to get to as well, the developer said there's going to be 30 Scourges, but in the screenshot below, it shows 50, or a screenshot during the video shows 50. We're going to get to all that. So I think this is not something you need to be worried about. I don't think it's going to be 500k characters on difficulty 5. With that said, though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately start on like difficulty, probably 5 or 6, feel it out, because there is a no penalty redo, which is kind of why I love this mode, or at least love the sounds of it. But yeah, so players can customize their challenges by selecting a difficulty from 1 to 10. We just talked about that. Lower difficulty allows for more options. So the more difficulties you put in, the more restrictions you get. Kind of like how Gamma has team restrictions. Well, it sounds like difficulty 10 is going to have that in the form of Web Warriors and Dark Hunters. 2 very, very new teams. Though I will say, at the level I play at, pretty much everybody's Web Warriors is 900k. And they know that. So I expect the difficulty for these Scourge events to reflect the possibility of 900k Web Warriors. I don't think difficulty 10 will be possible, but we'll see. So they'll announce the full details of the 10 node requirements and the first horseman and kit in the coming weeks. So this has already been about a week. Actually, it's been like 4 days. But maybe not this Friday, next Friday. We might find the horseman, but I did see Tana just post a video. Go and check his stuff out. He's always good and entertaining on the rumors front. So here's the twist. And this is why I kind of give a shout out to the World of Warcraft stuff, not just because, you know, Scourge, Lich King, Maurice's head fit well on that. Not just because of that. Because of these Scourges that you get to add that increase the difficulty. It really makes me think of Mythic Pluses from World of Warcraft adding different variables. And right away, this is why I don't think the difficulty, the 500k is going to be real. Because if you look here, difficulty 5 here, there's 8 Scourges activated, and it's 423 is the expected run score. Difficulty 5, 1.9 million. So yeah, I think these power levels are inflated. Don't let it scare you. So let's look at some of the Scourges that we see. Enemies gain 10% life. Okay, pretty straightforward. When a player character gains stealth, they also gain taunt. So you don't gain stealth. You actually put yourself in danger. So like a Black Widow isn't going to be a good option here. Okay, cool. Black Widow's kind of a power creep character anyway. Summon enemy minions gain 20% life. Depending on the nodes, that's going to be pretty cool too. So I see these things, and it really makes me want to theory craft through all the nodes, and then theory craft my team, and I live for that kind of stuff. I find that's really fun. That's why I'm super pumped for this. And here's where I think the event really nails it. It's going to be 10 days. It's going to be active, so it's not like a 3-day blitz thing where you have to fit it in then. Then 5 days for each subsequent time it repeats. So this first one is going to be 10 days, and then when they run it again in the future for this same horseman, it'll be 5. Kind of like legendary events, how they're 7 days long for the first one, then 3 days, like Omega Red is right now. Yeah, so in the time the Scourge events are active, so for our first one, it's going to be 10 days, we can make unlimited attempts to try and achieve the goal The best run with the highest difficulty and the greatest point value Scourge is active. So people are worried about the time sink effect here, and to those people, do your best, but don't kill yourself over it, right? Because you have to allow for try-hard people to benefit from the time they put into the game. So if people are going to take 3 hours to really kind of push their limits and try different things and keep pushing and pushing and pushing, they should get better rewards than you who does it once for 50 minutes during the 10-day streak. Like, I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's input output. So I like this. And I know people are worried about the time sink, but I think it's going to be fun. I think you're actually going to enjoy this. A lot of people didn't like Tower, but those same people kind of fell off. Like, they were trying at first, they were having fun, then they lost. I'm not trying to accuse anybody of being a sour Sally, but it is what it is. I think with this no penalty for losing and you get to retry, I think a lot more people will gravitate to this and have fun with it. At least the actual gameplay. Here's where we hit a little bit of a wall. And it's the nature of the reward structure. So, your points are going to put you on the leaderboard, which is going to do your rankings. They didn't show us what the milestones give, but they're calling these horsemen legendary. I've already asked the developers. I don't know if I'll be allowed to share. I'll ask if I'm allowed to share whatever answer they give me. They haven't given me an answer yet. They use the word legendary. Does that mean these characters are 310 shard unlocks? Can we expect the majority of players who partake in the event to unlock the character, at the very least? They do say in the Strike Time video, we're going to get to that the players who get the highest ranks can expect a very high star unlock. He didn't say maxed, so not 7-star. He said very high. That's 6, right? I have to assume that's 6 for the highest. So then maybe like 1% gets 5, and then like 10% gets 4. But then if that's 4 and it's a 310 shard unlock, then they don't actually get the character. I guess what I'm getting at is if only 1% of the player base unlocks any given horseman, that's a failed character release. So I hope they don't go that route. But don't light everything on fire yet. We haven't seen the milestones or the ranked rewards. We have to play wait and see for that. But if it is like only the highest TCP people because they can do the most pushing of the content are going to unlock, I'll be right there with you with the pitchforks, making sure that, well, at least trying to make sure more people get the unlock. So that's that. Let's go. Well, anything else? Scourge events for each of your horsemen will be released individually. So yeah, it's going to be a long time thing over the course of 2022. So I don't think we're getting Apocalypse till the end of the year. Maybe one horseman every 2 patches, maybe something like that. So we're also going to have to see, like, are these horsemen good for standalone? And are we going to get more than one iteration before Apocalypse comes? Like, are we going to get 2 or 3 Scourge events for each horseman before Apocalypse comes so that a lot of people are getting Apocalypse? Anyway, there's a lot of questions about rewards, shard count, everything like that we need to have answered before we get too hyped. But gameplay-wise, I'm really excited for the Scourge events. Now, let's go check out the Strike Time video. Let's do this. So here we go. First thing I want to say is this gentleman right here, over here, not Cerebro, further, my webcam doesn't go there. I'm pointing to the guy in the red plaid shirt. I like him. I like what he says. He's not a good liar. His eyes, even with the glare, kind of gave him away at some points. I think he's an honest guy, and I think he's a player, especially the way he talks. I especially like the Triforce. That really gives away some of the dorkdom, so good on him. And he looks a lot like my father-in-law, but 20 years younger. So I'm a little biased. I like this guy. I think he came off really well. So what's the first thing he's got to say?
And features. I work on economy sometimes. I'm the guy that does the spreadsheets.
That guy's Bolon? Bolon confirmed? 20 years from now, that's Bolon? All right, I'm down with it. Let's go.
The spreadsheets. So, what are some of the other things that you've worked on in the past in the game that our players might be familiar with?
Save squads. The
save squads are good.
That was one of mine. I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Just did a bit of a rework on placing people into alliances when they join the game.
So the reason why we have you on the show today is that you have actually been hard at work on an exciting...
All right, this is boring. Let's get to the good stuff.
Looking down all of these different UI.
All right, so look, right here. This is difficulty 5, Scourge 50. So in this interview, this guy does say... I should go learn his name. I apologize to him. I will go learn his name after this. There's 50 Scourges here active. Last time it looked like there was 8. So I think whatever we're seeing here is later down the road. I don't think there's going to be this many Scourges. I don't think it's going to be this kind of score. I don't think there's going to be the 500k enemies. So let's say that out the gate. Let's go learn this gentleman's name. Sean. Alright, Sean. I like you, Sean. You seem like a good guy.
That happens generally up at the top few difficulties.
So yeah, these 500Ks, this isn't going to be for our iteration.
We are launching with the Scourge events team. So if it doesn't work, let's say you're at your top difficulty level, you layer on some Scourges, and you get up to mission 9, and you can't make it any further. You still actually get scored on all the missions that you have completed. Okay. So it's possible that you might even get your high score without fully completing a run. So we tried to make it as friendly as possible to experiment.
And then once you...
See, I really like what he just said there. Even if you push yourself to the greatest limit your account can do, but you can't get all 10 nodes done, if that score surpasses what your previous best was, it's going to count it, it's going to log it. We'll see if there's like an end, like, hey, you actually finished the run bonus that's going to kind of nullify any of that. But I don't, like, it's just he seems very, very earnest here, and that's why I kind of want to get to the rewards part.
Score on
so we want you to be able to go back.
Ones might have different Scourges and different.
Sure. So the rank rewards.
Here we go. So before he was talking about different kind of Scourges that were in the game, such as no res for your team, the restrictions that are going to kind of amp up as we go along. We already talked about that. He really broke it down really good. If you haven't watched a Strike Time video, I'm going to include it in the description. Make sure you go check it out. Sean's the man. I like Sean. I have faith he made this mode fun, and he really got into the idea that he was having fun testing his own roster.
Will look like a lot of our previous rank rewards. The higher you rank, the more shards you take home. Mm-hmm. And while the exact numbers are still being worked out, the highest ranking players will get a very high unlocked horseman.
Okay, I'm no therapist, but there was a lot of ums, a lot of stalls. It's very possible. I just did an It's very possible he just doesn't know what the end shards are gonna be. But he was speaking so confidently before, and when it got to rewards, it got a little shaky. Don't hold that against my man Sean. I hope that when he says it's like other leaderboards, it's not like the leaderboard we just passed where it was 100 gear tier 16 orbs and then the bottom was 1 orb. Because if it's like the top are going to get a 5 or 6 star unlock and the bottom are going to get 10 shards, that's going to be a problem. That's the only question I have about this mode. The gameplay looks sick, it looks fun, it looks engaging. I'm very excited to try it, and I'm excited to see more Sean. Cerebral, make sure you bring Sean back more. He was a real star on this Strike Time, and I'm not just saying that because he looks like a younger father-in-law of mine. It's mostly because of the Triforce and because he's bowl on in a couple years. But anyway, guys, that's all we got to talk about the Scourge. There's too many unknowns still. Like, there's going to be 30 Scourges, so there's going to be a lot of theory crafting there. We don't know the character shards, we don't know the character, we don't know the kit, we don't know what the character is going to unlock at. We don't even know if there's going to be character offers. So there's so much we don't know. All I know is the gameplay looks exciting. It looks a lot like the Spirit of Tower, but with no penalty for getting creative and ambitious. And I like that. I'm excited. And no, I'm not going to talk about the Crucible because I am part of the playtest. I am allowed to say that much. But I'm going to be doing a lot of research into that. And as soon as I'm allowed to share it with you guys, I will. That is another mode that looks super exciting. There's lots of good things coming to the game. I don't think it's in maintenance mode. They wouldn't be putting out these new modes if it was. But we got to get other things under control. The stability of the game still needs to be addressed. There's things to work on there. But with these 2 new modes, I'm very excited. I'm excited to share that with you. Can't wait to go on this journey with you. And that's all I got for today. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.